Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, April 1st. We have all you need to know about changes coming to Penn State's dining halls, along with infrastructure projects coming to State College.
We also have the latest on the fatal bridge collapse in Baltimore, along with entertainment, sports, and weather. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Marianna Daniele.
And I'm Carlos Garcia. Penn State's University Park Undergraduate Association has elected a new president and vice president for the 2024-25 academic year. Almost 4,000 undergraduate students elected Zion Sykes and Rasha Elwakil to lead the organization. Sykes is a third year studying global and international studies and political science and is ecstatic and very excited to get to it.
And UPUA also voted 26-9 in favor of implementing a plastic bag tax. A fee of 5 to 15 cents will be charged for every plastic bag used at the university's markets and eateries. The tax is set to take effect at the start of next school year. It aims to discourage the use of plastic bags and encourage more sustainable practices. The university says students will help decide how the funds from these taxes will be used.
College Township will receive a $500,000 state grant for a planned bike and pedestrian path. It will run adjacent to East College Avenue from Putningtown Road to an existing path at Hastings Road near University Drive. Plans for the approximately 1 mile path have been in the works for years. Officials say the path is designed to keep bikers and hikers off the shoulders and away from travel lanes.
And down the street at State College Regional Airport, you'll find the new Penn Valley Cafe. It opened its doors on March 23rd and offers an array of sandwiches, salads, and smoothies. It is located near the ticket counters in the main lobby. Operating hours run from 4:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. daily. The cafe says it's set to enhance the travel experience for both air and bus passengers, as well as the local community. Today already saw some April showers, but will there be more this week? Gavin Sandell with Campus Weather Services has more details. Take a look.
From the students of the Department of Meteorology and Atmospheric Science, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
Happy Monday, PSN. I'm student meteorologist Gavin Sandell here with your Monday evening forecast. And yeah, happy Monday. This weather has just personifies it. It's just been cloudy and dreary the entire day. We haven't had temperatures going above 50 degrees. And really, as we're sitting at Beaver Stadium right now, just after 5 p.m., it is 50 degrees, cloudy conditions for the moment that we have had rain throughout the day. We're having a high humidity due to a high dew point, which we're also sitting at around 48 degrees. And a little brisk wind coming out of the southeast at 5 miles an hour is making it feel just all right. And this dreary week will continue throughout really midweek as we take a look at our weather headlines. Snow is possible actually on Wednesday as we look at a low pressure system, bringing in some cold air, maybe some snow on the backside. But going into the weekend, it should look relatively nice, which means Eclipse Day is coming. 1 week from today is Eclipse Day, and we'll have to see whether it'll be sunny or cloudy. And I'll get to that in just a moment. Let's take a look at our temperatures. Our highs so far today, 50 degrees in State College, like I mentioned. That's really the same story across the eastern portion of the state. 50s in Allentown, Scranton. A little bit warmer as you head west towards Du Bois and Pittsburgh. We're there at 63 degrees. Not much right now on the radar. All the rain that was through earlier has moved out. Right now, we're just seeing some clouds. And it is a little bit clear in the northwest. And looking at a nationwide view, you could see there's a little bit of activity in the midwestern portions of the country. That's due to a low pressure system that's going to slowly skirt its way in. And speaking of low pressure, this big area of red centered at 1 p.m. tomorrow over central Illinois will be just dragging its way through. This is not as quick as low pressure systems move. Now we're in Wednesday going further into Thursday. It kind of meanders its way a little westward till it goes eastward. Now we're in Thursday, but this low pressure system will just continue its dominance over us until really the weekend, until as a high pressure system will start to set
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Antonio Fondacaro with your sports update. Penn State ice hockey star Tessa Janicki earned a spot on the U.S. women's ice hockey national team. Janicki dominated the ice in her second season, scoring 52 points and earning accolades such as First Team All-CHA and CHA Player of the Year. This will be the second Team USA appearance for Janicki, as she was on the 2023 USA team that won gold medal a year ago. The Orangeville, Illinois native will showcase her skills at the 2024 IIHF Women's World Championship in Utica, New York, from April 3rd to April 14th. Penn State women's basketball fell 58-53 to Villanova in the semifinals of the Women's Basketball Invitation Tournament today. The tournament was introduced by the NCAA in 2023 and aims for gender parity in postseason opportunities. Elani Kapanis led the Lady Lions with a double-double, scoring 18 points and grabbing 13 rebounds. The team fought valiantly, but unfortunately could not dig themselves out of the 10-point deficit after the third quarter. Major League Baseball is back and in full swing. The first series for all 30 teams across the MLB has finished, and here's the first impressions to follow with it. The American League is led by the New York Yankees after dispatching the Houston Astros in a 4-0 series sweep. The Detroit Tigers hold on to the second spot in the AL after sweeping the Chicago White Sox in 3 games. On the National League side, the Pittsburgh Pirates make some noise to begin the season, posting a 4-0 record after sweeping the Miami Marlins. The Milwaukee Brewers round out our list of the 4 undefeated teams remaining after a series win against the New York Mets. Grab some peanuts and enjoy baseball fever, as most teams have over 158 more games left of play. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Grace Eckerly has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State. Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Aiden Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So in sync, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out.
Reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Grace Eckerly with your entertainment update. Happy April, happy Valley. To welcome in the new month, we have an exciting announcement coming out of the Moving On team this weekend. The headliners for this year's festivals were revealed as none other than Dayglow, the 502s, Freddie Gibbs, and Sexy Red. This will be an electric series of performances, to say the least. The date is currently set for April 26th, and as always, the Moving On Music Festival will take place on the IM Fields. Now, the events on campus never stop here at Penn State. Our Eva Hines is live in the studio with us now with details from a recent environmental-themed event. Eva?
Thanks, Grace. This week, I had the chance to visit the Garden Grow How event at the Hub. We got to watch kids make dirt, learn about molecules, and take home some fun plants. Let's take a look. My name is Eva Hines, and today we are at Garden Grow How to learn all about plants and see what this event is all about. Welcome to Garden Grow How, the hub to all knowledge about plants, wildlife, and the ecosystem. This is an interactive experience for gardeners of all ages and experience levels. There are a variety of tables set up with different information activities at each. You can make your own dirt, learn about different molecules, and even take home your own plants.
Here we're at the Garden Grow How, just educating members of the Penn State community about different gardening, soil, seed-related things, and just trying to raise awareness for a more sustainable future.
Stations are also family-friendly with activities for kids including a demonstration with live worms, botanical crafts, seed swapping, and more.
My favorite thing about plants, I love the colors. I love going out and seeing all of the plants in the springtime. It brings me a lot of joy.
The event took place in Heritage Hall Monday night and was open to all excited to learn more about the environment. For PSN News, I'm Eva Hines. This event was perfect for farmers of all ages and a great way to get involved in the community. Back to you, Grace.
Thank you, Eva. Now, some big news for the Swifties on campus. Coming to Penn State's Fall 2024 class roster is English 105, titled Folklore and American Pop Culture. It's an entire class dedicated towards Taylor Swift and her artful impact on society. Folklore is one of Swift's more recent albums that is heavily poetry-based, and teacher Christopher Castiglia will be studying just that with his students in only a few months. Castiglia says the purpose of this class is to study Taylor Swift as a revolutionary literary figure that she is. America and myself have been left in awe of Beyonce's new album. But let's be honest, when are we not? Except this time, Queen Bee throws a curveball when she announced that her new album was going to swing country. The Cowboy Carter album is complete with 27 songs featuring stars like Miley Cyrus and Post Malone. And of course, there's a spinoff of the original cowgirl Dolly Parton with her iconic song, Jolene. That's all that I have for your entertainment update tonight. Coming up next, interview anchor Jordan Spagnoli will be speaking with Dylan Williams, a photographer here at Penn State. Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Ready, mics? 3, 2, fade in on 2, mic and cue.
This is Nittany Talk.
I would say spring.
Slow down.
And he knew that. How do you say
I know.
she continues to hold her values and everything though? And I think that that's really important. So yeah, and self-care Saturday.
And you lose a lot of sleep.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Bye.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State. Hey everyone, welcome to Culture Central. My name is Jaden Stewart.
What's good, everybody? My name is Eric Pichardo, and we are your hosts,
creators,
and executive producers of Culture Central. Is this Whitney Houston? Like,
we're doing things that have never been done before. So welcome to the family.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Borzillo, here with Aiden Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So insane, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out.
Reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
A natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
Been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
With Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Jordan Spagnoli, and joining me is Dylan Williams, a photographer here at Penn State. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, Dylan, to just talk a little bit more about what you do here. So first of all, just what got you interested in photography?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. What got me into photography in high school, I went to a program in 11th grade. It was a 2-year program where I learned how to use a camera. And yeah, since then, I've always been in love with videography and photography. And I'd say in 2021 is where I just sat down with myself and I really wanted to take it seriously.
So kind of going off of that videography, photography, I know you're a film student here. So how did you end up finding photography? Why did you kind of focus more on photography than maybe some of the typical things we see from those film students?
It was an experience. So I was in Brooklyn Bridge Park, and well, even before that, I was at a party. One of my friends introduced me, but he didn't know what I did. And that kind of sat with me a lot. So I decided, I know how to use a camera, so why not just go for it? Why not just start a photography page, and if it works out, it works out, but at least I want to apply myself and really do stuff. So I think that was really the main experience that made me kind of step out of like the film-based route and go into photography instead.
And kind of speaking of like the route that it took you, has there been anything at Penn State that you've been involved in that's really helped you grow as a photographer and helped you reach maybe new heights that you haven't achieved prior? Definitely.
I'd say at the beginning, it was Sovereign Magazine. My freshman and my sophomore year, the involvement with that really helped me out a lot. Gave me some basis as a photographer, especially in like the creative studio realm. And then I'd say other than that, definitely Onward State has helped me out. Recently, I just joined them, but also Comm Agency, the photography department. I joined them in January of 2023, and I'd say that's been the biggest help, especially in terms of professional development and all that type of stuff. It's been great.
And kind of going off of what you're saying about working with Comm Agency, how would you say Comm Agency has helped you as a photographer? What experiences have you had there that's really helped you?
You just get to work with a lot of real life clients. You get to work with people who know what they're talking about on your side of things, but also just real life clients who are like, hey, I want headshots that are at this angle and about 150 of them. You get to work in a fast-paced editing style. And it's definitely industry standard experience that I'm learning at such a young age before I go into the workforce eventually in about a year from now.
And kind of going off of that again, how would you say Comm Agency and freelancing has kind of differed?
maybe the pros and cons of both sides of the coin here that you're doing?
I say comm agency, it's a bit more polished. You know, I feel like most clients don't really want like too many extravagant edits, but with freelance, it's kind of my work, unless it's for like a graduation shoot. But even then, I'd say with freelance, I'm able to let my creative style a bit more loose. If you follow my Instagram, you'll see a lot more drastic edits on there than if I'm editing stuff for comm agency. So I'd say freelance definitely gives me more freedom to be expressive in the way that I'd like.
I think that's definitely an interesting difference there that you have between those two involvements. And I guess kind of going back to photography as a whole, why did you maybe decide that you wanted photos to be your medium rather than many other forms of medium that you could tell art and stories through?
I think that as a photographer, I think that photos are just really beautiful. I love the fact that you can capture memories through photos. I think that's one of the main things that really pushed me towards being a photographer, being able to capture those memories for people, for them to look back on. I do a lot of event photography, so that involves just taking pictures of people just having fun and having a good time. So I think just the ability to capture a moment in time was really what led me to photography, kind of more than anything else. It's not like I'm not video. I still do video stuff, but photography is what really is my bread and butter, I'd say.
And you know, you spoke about some different event shoots that you've done. What exactly would you say you think your favorite event has been shooting as a photographer?
Ooh, you know, I'll keep it brief, and I'll just say what recently came to mind. The Drake concert literally yesterday, because I didn't get in as like a media pass photographer, but thankfully, shout out to my roommate, my seats were very good. Our seats were very good. I just took photos on my phone, and I edited them when I got home, and I posted them, and they came out great. I think those are some of the best photos that I've ever taken. It was just off of a phone. It's really inspiring to let people know, like, you don't need fancy gear to take good photos. So yeah, I'd say that's my favorite one.
And I guess that's something I never really thought about, is it doesn't always have to be the fancy thousands of dollar cameras. Can you maybe speak a little bit more about the different kinds of gear that you've worked with and kind of how that's led you to different types and styles of photography?
I'd say for sure, I've definitely, coming to Penn State, I've been exposed to more expensive equipment. But even then, I've done photo shoots on a phone before. And I always say it's not about the equipment, it's about the person behind it. Because anybody can be given this $1,000 equipment, but it depends on what you do with it, what your composition, what your creative eye really like. So I'd say I've worked with a variety of equipment, but the main thing still remains the main thing. It's still trying to strike on something that's visually appealing and that's very strong in a conceptual manner.
I actually think that's really interesting. Kind of the focus is more about the person taking the photos than necessarily the equipment being used. And you spoke a little bit about composition and kind of the eye and what you see as being the photos you want to take. What do you think you would say you have an eye for? Do you like photographing people, events, scenery, forests?
I'd like to say people. I've been trying to get into the sports realm because I love sports, and being able to kind of meld that all in one has been a really great thing. But I'd say people for sure. I think that's where my creative eye is at. People interacting with the environment, people in studios and things like that. I say that's where I'm really at with things.
And kind of talking about, you know, where you're at, where you're going, what do you necessarily think might be your plan to continue with photography as you continue through Penn State and eventually graduate and head off into the workforce?
I think as I head off into the workforce, it's going to be more freelance work. Hopefully, I do get a job within photography, but I'm also looking at the video aspect as well. To be real with you, it's wherever takes me and pays me the most money. So, as it should be for everybody. But yeah, I think freelance work for sure is definitely where I'm going to be at, and just doing more creative things on my side.
No, and I definitely agree with you there. Just, you know, finding what pays well, but also what kind of fits who you are as a person. Because again, like you said, it's about the photographer, not necessarily the equipment or the scenery you might be in. But Dylan, thank you so much for coming in tonight. Now stick around, because up next is Carlos and Mariana with the latest news from across the nation.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Baby Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So insane, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out.
Reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss. Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment. We are Red Carpet News.
The man accused of fatally shooting New York City police officer Jonathan Diller is now facing charges. 34-year-old Guy Rivera is charged with first-degree murder of a police officer, attempted murder, and criminal possession of a weapon. Rivera remains hospitalized with injuries from that shootout. Diller was shot and killed at a routine traffic stop last week in Queens and leaves behind a wife and one-year-old son after 3 years with the NYPD.
Multiple women in New York City have reported being assaulted while walking in downtown Manhattan in broad daylight. Videos shared on TikTok show the victims detailing incidents where they were punched by men under various circumstances. The New York Police Department has confirmed an arrest in connection with one of the incidents and is investigating others that are very similar. The rise in assaults comes amid increased public safety concerns despite a reported decrease in some categories of crime. Victims are now speaking out in hopes of raising awareness to improve safety in the city.
After the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore last week, it was revealed that most of the workers killed were originally from South American countries. This highlights the dangers Hispanic workers face in the U.S. Rescue efforts continue for the 6 missing workers that are originally from Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. The U.S. Department of Labor considers construction a high-hazard industry, and Latinos make up a third of that industry.
For the first time, the U.S. Census will include Hispanic or Latino and Middle Eastern or North African as distinct race categories. This historic change by the Biden administration aims to better reflect the nation's diverse population. Previously, many from these groups would have to select another race. Now, they will have dedicated checkboxes, which will help increase accuracy in federal data. Federal agencies have up to 5 years to implement these changes. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.